In this episode of Finno-Ugric Machining, we are going to deal with this. This is a shaft that has booms in it, and those booms must go away. So it's in correct dimension at the moment, but it has high spots. So it's a late job. Okay, this might break my center drill. Really, this is horrific stuff. In addition of being having a high spot, it also seems to be a banana. So, well, I had trouble in centering this thing because it's so banana. But hopefully we can. No, this is not even near center. Well, it is a banana. Yeah. Okay, I must make another approach here now. So, here is our setup this time. I dialed this end of the shaft from here. Here is a machine surface actually right on the back of this spline. So I could dial it in using this surface. And at the moment it's inside 0.05 of a millimeter. And it's running quite true. I can see that the shaft is, well, it's a banana. Oh yeah, okay. So let's go. First, let's start somewhere. Well, I have set the compound to 30-degree angle. Well, this is really, you have to be really careful with this one. Okay. Okay. We get a little bit of a touch there. Let's not take that lot. We have a good center at this end. I will now loosen it a little bit and then I will push it against this center and dial it at this end. This end doesn't need to be dialed anymore. The center takes care of that. So this is really tedious somehow. Taking this away and putting it back, and taking away and putting back, and so on. What I want to do here is to have it about 1 centimeter here in the chuck. Just about that much, not more. Why so little? Because I want to get as much as possible cleaned out from here. Because I know that the last centimeter doesn't matter. My neighbor can fix that with angle grinder even. So, okay. Oh yeah. Inside 1/10 of a millimeter now. It's quite there now. Now I just need to check that all the jaws are tight. I don't want this to fly away. It's wiggling a lot, but that's expected because it's an uneven surface. The dialing is done. Well, it's not too bad, actually. It just has a lot of high spots everywhere. Oh yeah, this will be fun. Well, here goes nothing. I have now scanned this surface, fishing the high spots, and now we should be taking 0.25 millimeters out of those high spots. One is somewhere here. You will see it later on when it comes to that. And well, we don't have a lot of material to spare here, so it's really tight this time. So actually, at this end, we are already a little bit undersized. So this will be really a challenge to get this good. But let's see. Okay, this is now the last pass. I measured this around and it's at the moment quite exactly 50 millimeters, so it becomes about 1/10 under. And that, according to my neighbor, is totally acceptable. Okay, then we do just that. So let's go. Last but not least, a little bit of emery paper. It is now, well, you can put it into a 50 millimeter hole, but it's it looks horrific. Yeah, so now I will do some emery with that. It has definitely it has some rust dust in it. So now this shaft is ready. Well, there are no more high spots, and I think I succeeded because the cuttings are on the opposite sides of the shaft. And for example here, at this point it's all around. So probably I got the optimal cutting for this one. There is this thing that was sitting inside the chuck. My neighbor has to do rest of this with angle grinder. And yeah, well, so the major challenge with that one was to get the center right. That one was a little bit challenging, but well, you can always turn it. You don't need to use the center drill. If that doesn't work, don't use it. It only breaks inside the hole and that's it. In my case it was really wobbly. The original center hole was so rusty and corroded and whatever that it was really out of, well, it was not a center hole anymore. So turning it was the right decision. After that I was golden with that one. No trouble at all. Just ordinary turning and that's it. The material itself is somewhat hard, but it's not super hard. It's tough, I believe. Well, of course, because this is a shaft which gets a lot of torsion. It's forged and yeah, it's tough material. So, in the next episode of Finno-Ugric Machining, we are going to do the control box for the rotating welding positioner. And this time it will be the faceplate with all the knobs, potentiometers, switches and whatever there is. That will be fun. Till then, bye!